I am back now. This is tomorrow's transfers today. We're live and I've got so much to bring you today. I apologise if I'm about a minute late because I was deep into the McGregor and Mayweather press conference. It's very, very interesting. McGregor with his usual funny lines, Mayweather coming out with his usual cockiness. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. We'll save that for my YouTube channel. Here, this is Full Time Devils. Tomorrow's transfers today. It's Tuesday night, but we're bringing you Wednesday's headlines. Yes, the Wednesday's back pages, the stories that will be all over them. We are talking Perisic. We are talking Joe Hart. We are talking Eric Dier today. So we're talking loads of good stuff today. Firstly, we're going to speak about Ivan Perisic, but I'm going to jump into some of your comments. David saying McGregor 49-1. McGregor's never won 49 fights, mate, but he definitely has lost one or two. Who are we linked to? So Sebastian Ferrer. Like I just said, we'll be speaking about Perisic, Dier and Joe Hart. We'll let the numbers climb a little bit before we get stuck into the transfer rumours, and I'll speak to you guys in the comments. Should Luke Shaw get another chance this season? Says MUFC Fan TV. Yes, he should. F Dier and Dier is rubbish, says a few of the comments. Leroy and another, sorry, the comments are moving quite quick. Nathan says he'd rather have Matic over Dier. Who is Eric Dier, says Mike. And James Rodriguez to Bayern Munich, says Jake. Yes, James Rodriguez has joined Bayern Munich. I did say to you guys on tomorrow's transfers today that I did doubt he would join Manchester United. Starting 11 for the season, Matthew Payne says we'll do something about that a little bit later. I'm not going to answer that now. Hi Nicholas. Hi Gabrielle. Che. Che's usually on my channel as well. Hi Che. Ronak. One-Eyed Will. I've just got that name. That's a very creative name. Anyway, moving on. The numbers have risen a little bit now, and we are a couple of minutes into the stream. So let's get stuck into tomorrow's transfers today on Full Time Devils, and we're talking Ivan Perisic. Now, this Ivan Perisic stuff has dragged on for a while now. We initially thought that Ivan Perisic would, of course, possibly join Manchester United in June, because we knew that Inter Milan needed to raise money. They needed to meet the FFP regulations, and they did it without having to sell Ivan Perisic. It came down to the last day or two, but they did do it. So they said, we want 50 million euros for Ivan Perisic, 48 million pounds, something ridiculous like that. And United are still in negotiations with them. This is according to Sky's Cave Salal. Sorry if I've got his surname wrong. But this is the Daily Express that are reporting it. So this is going to be in their back pages tomorrow. And they're using Sky Sports' report to say United are in negotiations with Inter Milan. Inter Milan do not want to sell, but they do want 48 million pounds for the player. Now, United don't want to pay 48 million pounds for him, but they're trying to structure a deal, maybe one with bonuses involved, something like that. So this is what Cave is saying at the moment. Now, he's usually quite reliable as well. And he's saying United are still in talks, but these talks have been dragging on for a while. Of course, they may have been delayed because of the Romelu Lukaku situation, United getting that transfer over the line before they, whilst they were heading out to the pre-season tour. So now that Lukaku stuff's sorted, we've got a centre-half sorted, we need to get one or two more signings. It looks like Ivan Perisic could be the next one through the door if these reports are to be believed, and the fee could be around 48 million pounds. It's a ridiculous fee in my opinion. I don't think Ivan Perisic is better than Anthony Martial would be on the left wing, and I think Anthony Martial should be playing week in, week out next season. But we do need to add players to our squad. Over the last couple of months, we've lost Memphis, we've lost Schneiderlin, we've lost Schweinsteiger, Rooney, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and countless others as well. And I'm sure a few others will leave. So we need to bring other players in. We need to add numbers to the squad. Ivan Perisic is a talented player, although he's not very young, so he's not going to improve much. We're kind of getting the finished article in his peak years at the moment, at least his peak for another year or two. And 48 million pounds, I think, is ridiculous for a player like that. But we know what the market's like at the moment. And if Jose Mourinho wants Ivan Perisic... Sorry, guys. The TV just tried to start Family Guy. 1 second. I do apologise about that. I had the television paused while I was watching the McGregor fight, After an hour of pausing, it starts playing again. How annoying is that? So I've got that off. Anyway, carrying on where I was from. Ivan Perisic, yeah, I don't think he's better than what we've got on the left wing in Anthony Martial, but I think it adds something to the squad. And I think Ivan Perisic would be a good addition to the squad. Jose Mourinho obviously wants him. But I think 48 million is ridiculous. But fees are ridiculous these days. If United can get something where it's structured with bonuses, maybe with goals in there or trophies or something like that, then maybe United could be in a win-win situation. But I'm not too disheartened if we miss out on Ivan Perisic. But it does look like a deal could be edging closer there, and it would be nice to see what Ivan Perisic can offer to the side. He's obviously experienced. He's been playing well in Italy reasonably, but he's not a player that excites me, is what I'm trying to say. But if he came in, I'd be willing to give him time to prove himself. And of course, he's a player Jose Mourinho wants, so I'm sure he wants him for a very good reason. Moving on from that and to something that really does piss me off. Now, I know Family Guy just come on, and to coin a phrase from Family Guy, this really does grind my gears, this one. It's Jamie Jackson in The Guardian. This will be in The Guardian tomorrow. Now, Jamie has been on the channel before in the past, and his information that he gets, he's usually quite honest with it. He's not just going to make something up for the sake of it. But I hope he's wrong on this one. I really do hope he's wrong on this one. He's saying Manchester United are interested in Eric Dier. £60 million they're willing to pay. But Spurs don't want to sell, and Daniel Levy's saying he's not for sale. £60 million. Now, I know transfer fees are ridiculous, but we paid £75 million for Romelu Lukaku. We're really willing to pay £60 million for Eric Dier. Are you shitting me? Eric Dier is so basic. He's so basic. So basic. Seriously, Eric Dier is super basic. Why do United want to spend that much money on him? He would be a decent addition to the squad. Nothing more, nothing less. I wouldn't want to see Eric Dier starting week in, week out for me. And although he's got more experience, I'd rather give the opportunities to someone like Timothy Fosu-Mensah. And I'm glad I can see some of your comments. Porky Saint says, no, Dier. Wet Sock says, 60 effing million. What the hell? 60 million for that trash, says Arnold. I don't want Eric Dier at all. I just don't want Eric Dier. Apparently we're interested in him though. Someone else said Dier's sick. I don't agree with that. He's probably sick in the head. Herrera still owes him a slap. But I promise I don't dislike him because of that Herrera situation. I just don't think he's great. Why do we need to sign a player that doesn't really improve our starting 11, doesn't really improve our squad? I don't think we need to invest in a player like that. If he was available on a free transfer or 10, 15, 20, 30 million, maybe. £60 million for Eric Dier. And the reason I'm moaning about this, look, with Ivan Perisic here for 48 million or 40 million plus add-ons or whatever it would turn out to be, you could argue that there isn't many other options that Jose Mourinho could go for in terms of a player that would add something to the squad. He's experienced, is not going to stand in the way of the likes of Marshall, Rashford, etc. for too long. And he's going to add something there. He's an experienced player. But Eric Dier, there's so many other options out there that we could get for £60 million. So many other options. Gabriel says Ross Barkley. Please no. He's another shit, overrated English talent, just like Eric Dier. Please no. None of them. I don't want either of them at the club. Ross Barkley, once upon a time, I did want him at Man United. I thought he had this potential. He looked like this bullish kid like Wayne Rooney when he burst onto the scenes, but a midfield version. But he's never improved from that. And if anything, he's gone backwards. So, Dier, Ross Barkley, keep him to yourself. And talking about another player that you can keep to yourself and keep well away from Manchester United is Joe Hart, who has been linked with Manchester United in the Metro. Now, this seems to be based on on an article saying that Manchester United have sounded out a move with Joe Hart's representatives in case David De Gea haven't really been sniffing around for him. They've got Keylor Navas. Yes, they're not going to get Donnarumma now, but Real Madrid don't seem to be in the market for a striker at this moment in time. So I don't understand why this is about, but even still, I don't understand why Joe Hart would be linked with Manchester United. Joe Hart isn't good enough for our reserves. Joe Hart isn't an improvement on Joel Pereira. Joe Hart isn't an improvement on Sergio Romero Joe Hart isn't an improvement on David De Gea. He isn't an improvement on any of those 3 goalkeepers. So why the hell would we sign him? And I believe this one's bullshit. Jamie Jackson of The Guardian also says this isn't true. United aren't interested. But he does say United are interested in Dier. So it's kind of like, Jamie, on one hand, you're making me really happy. And then on the other hand, you really do my head in. But that's the way it is at the moment. And Joe Hart linked to United. Jamie Jackson says United aren't interested. I pray to God United aren't interested. I don't want Joe Hart anywhere near United. I'd rather go into the season with Romero and Joe Pereira if David De Gea did leave. Aside from transfers, Michael Carrick was named captain today. Now obviously he's not going to start every single game, and there's been rumours that Ander Herrera will be the vice captain. I'm not sure if that's been confirmed, but Michael Carrick is the new captain. He deserves this. He's obviously been vice captain under Wayne Rooney. And I think Michael Carrick deserves this. He's been a long-standing player at Manchester United. He's been here for a very long time. He's been a part of one of our most successful sides, the only player remaining from that 2008 side. And while Michael Carrick won't be starting many games, you don't have to be starting every game as a captain. As a vice captain like Ander Herrera in the side, that's good enough. We've got people like Bailey, who will be starting week in, week out. David De Gea, who are leaders. Pogba's a leader in his own right. So we've got leaders that will be starting week in, week out. Carrick's a great captain to have in and around the team, in and around the dressing rooms, for the younger players to look up to, because he's achieved it all in the game and at Manchester United. And I think he's an honourable captain. And yeah, fair play to him for getting that. Well done to Michael Carrick. It could be his last season at Old Trafford, but knowing him, the way he keeps prolonging his career, who knows, he could be here for 2, 3, 4 more years. Do what Andre Pirlo, could he do that? Keep knocking out 20 to 25 appearances a season for the next couple of years. Who knows? But that is confirmed that Michael Carrick is the new captain. Obviously, Wayne Rooney leaving this week with the arrival of Romelu Lukaku. The only confirmed news so far, as you can see right there, is Lindelof and Lukaku in. Zlatan, Harrop, Rooney, Poole and Henderson have left. It's on loan for Poole and Henderson. Rooney, Harrop and Zlatan have gone. Zlatan and Harrop were obviously released as well. Rumours Zlatan could return to Old Trafford though, but that one remains to be seen. Nub says he thinks Mickey will take the number 10 shirt. Ankit asks, will Zlatan sign again? As I just mentioned, there's rumours, but who knows? It depends on how he comes back from his injury, doesn't it? But yeah, guys, that has been it for tomorrow's transfers today. Thank you all for joining us here on Full Time Devils. Make sure you subscribe to Full Time Devils as well. YouTube.com/FullTimeDevils. Share, like, comment, and subscribe to YouTube.com/Adam McCullough. Trying to hit 40k by the beginning of the new Premier League campaign. We've got so much more to come on Full Time Devils. Until then, though, we've got the pre-season tour where there's about 8 games going down for United in pre-season, and we'll be covering them all here in one way or the other on Full Time Devils. Until then, though, guys, I think Stephen Alson's back with you tomorrow, and then I'll be with you the day after. See you later.